Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Divine Within, the invisible connection with God. I'm Santiago Kneeland, your host. Today, we're going to talk about a subject that I think is very interesting. I've always believed that the United States, more than a democracy, more than a republic, is a theocracy. A lot of people have said, Santiago, you're crazy. What do you mean a theocracy? It's the complete opposite. I mean, no, if we're thinking of a traditional theocracy that it's based on Islam, on Christianity, on Judaism, then it isn't a theocracy. But I believe that the founding document, which is the Declaration of Independence, states that this country is a theocracy, that it is based on God and on the nature of God and what God endowed humans with. So let's take a deep dive and let's analyze this. I want to analyze the Declaration of Independence. You realize what it was and what it meant, what sacrifices were done by the people in those times so that this, the nation of the brave and the home of the free would be just that. So let's dive into this, and I mean, there's other elements that you can see, and we're going to be talking about them as well. But we can see all the different elements in the Constitution, in the bills, in everything that the United States stands for. There's God in there, and I believe that as long as this is true, and the United States remains within God and as a nation of God, it will always prosper and it will always exist. But if this nation is fractured and secularism invades it, then its whole purpose, its reason to exist will cease. And eventually this nation will cease to exist as well. So let's start with the Declaration of Independence. I have always seen this document as probably the best document created by mankind or by a mind. And I give credit to my high school teacher, Mr. Redfern, Thomas Redfern, if you're hearing me, thanks for this, that he taught me that this document was a syllogism. It's, if you don't understand what that is that it's a resolution, a very ancient way of processing of reasoning, where you state a reason or you state a fact, then you give the reasons why that has to change or why that isn't, or why it's contradicting, or why there's a not a wrong, but why it's not working incorrectly, or why it's going to be altered in a different way, and then you have the resolution. So in this syllogism, I like it very much because it's stating that the 13 colonies are now the 13 states, and they're giving the reasons why they are given the right to exist, and I like this a lot. So, well, the first paragraph, it says, when in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitled them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. Right at the beginning, in this paragraph, we're seeing that they are submitting and they're appealing this petition to the supreme powers and the laws of nature and God. So from this moment, we see that this is not based on a human institution. This is declaring that it is based on a divine institution. And the next paragraph is probably one of the most famous declarations. And this is where we find the basis of why the United States is a theocracy. It says, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by the Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the government, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizations, organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to serve their safety and happiness. So this right here at the beginning, it says that all men are created equal, and this is important. It's it's equality, not equality of outcome, which is right now what's a lot of the political and social turmoil, is that everybody should have equal outcome, and that's really not true. It's equal opportunity. So this is what it says. We're created equal. It's then our decisions and our actions that sets us apart. But at the beginning, they say that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by the Creator with certain unalienable rights. So it establishes here that there's a Creator, and it's giving us certain rights that are unalienable. That means that nobody can take them. Nobody in this world, even if it's the king, the emperor, or anybody, can take these liberties. The most fundamental are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That is what the United States and what America represents. And that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. So this is what they're saying, is that a God does not endow a king the right to govern. What this is saying is that people must construct the government within themselves that can foster and that can really certify or that secure these rights that God has given them. So in a way, it's not God giving somebody the right to be the master over everybody. It's rather people making sure and securing the rights that God gave people. So think about it, this is where I find that the United States, although it's not, we're not putting a face to this God. It's not the Christian God, it's not the Jewish God, it's not the Buddhist God, it's God. So anybody can interpret that in the way they see fit. So this is very interesting. If you see, then the document goes further, and it's a long story, but in the end it gives the reasons why the King of England hasn't respected this and why they are not securing these rights, and that therefore they have the authority, the divine authority, to overthrow this government and to bring their own government. So in the end, this is what the syllogism says. We therefore, the representatives of the United States of America and General Congress, assembled, appealing to the Supreme Judge of the world, meaning God, for the rectitude of our intentions, do in the name and by authority of the good people of these colonies, solemnly publish and declare that these united colonies are and of right ought to be free and independent states, that they are absolved from the allegiance to the British Crown, and that all political connection between them and the state of Great Britain is and ought to be totally dissolved, and that as free and independent states they have full power to levy war, conclude peace, contract alliances, establish commerce, and to do all other acts and things which independent states may of right do. And of the support of this declaration, I like this sentence. I mean, in the end, they are appealing to God, but they are declaring their fortunes to be within each other. Their livelihood is going to be protected by themselves. They establish God as the foundation, but their unity as the support for this declaration. So it states, and for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. So, I don't know, this is very impactful, and why a lot of the different countries in the world have seen the Declaration of Independence as one of the most important documents written by mankind. So, with this in mind, that's why I believe that the United States, before being a republic, before being a democracy, is first a theocracy. where the reason for the government and the reason for the people lies within the authority of God.